Charles, with the stress fracture of the ankle, seems to be working pretty well on the offensive boards.
Well, he's played the last 4 games for the 76ers. They were 2-5 in his absence. Here's KJ back in. Malone sits down. They have 4 guys on the floor who could play guard. Mullen, Johnson, Hardaway, and Magic Johnson. Chambers also in the lineup. Magic takes it down low and gets it.
Keep in mind, Magic did a pretty good job one season when they moved him up front, and he started as center against the 76ers and wound up winning the championship. He had like, what, 42, 44 that night?
Yeah, that was the 6th and final game of the title series in 1980 at the Spectrum in Philly. The first of 5 Laker titles in the decade. Ewing across the lane. That's a move he's developed since leaving Georgetown. He didn't have that kind of offensive versatility when he played for John Thompson there.
And he's become so much more confident facing up and shooting that they complement one another, as Hardaway again goes for the 3. Now he faces up. If you don't play him, he's going to knock it out, or he goes by you.
Jordan. Off a great pass from Hersey Hawkins, who could have had the layup himself, but went behind the back to Michael. Hawkins just picked up the foul, but watch this.
Hersey Hawkins understands where he is, knows who's in the game, and knows who to get it to. The crowd wants to see Michael do it, and he certainly does.
Hersey Hawkins, playing in his first All-Star game, finds the crowd favorite.
Pete, man, what was your reaction when you missed it? I said, oh, man. I said, what's that mean? I couldn't believe that was me, man. I just stood there on the floor. But, you know, I was so tight. What I should have did, I should have just went on just a regular dunk till I got loose. But you won't see that again.
But will we see a dunk again?
Oh, you see a dunk. You won't see that miss, is what I'm saying. You will see that same dunk.
I'll stay here till I see it, too.
You're going to see it second half.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, as Neek takes a seat, it was Barkley with the rebound and the follow basket. He's in double figures now with 10 and nearly as many rebounds. He's been a monster under there in the first half. Worthy and Barkley tie one another up. 10 points, 10 rebounds for Barkley, we're told. And a reminder, at the end of today's broadcast, we'll be selecting the Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game. Barkley gets up highest. Jordan lays it off to Barkley. Lord Charles can't hit it. Chambers might have fouled him. And Mike Mathis says yes, he did.
Last foul, number 24. It's on Chambers.
That's his first.
That's his second.
Michael at the last second dropping it off to Charles, who finds the handle, steps around Chambers. And Patrick's standing there saying, hey, Charles, how about giving me a chance for just a deuce, please?
A minute 9 to play until intermission, tied at 58. Barkley second in the league MVP balloting a year ago behind Magic Johnson, starting his 3rd consecutive All-Star game, and it's his 5th All-Star appearance.
Mentioned to us that the key thing for the 76ers, we've got to get to 4th place to have home court advantage down the stretch run here in the second half of the season.
Almost no chance to catch the Celtics atop the Atlantic Division. Mullen with a quick pass inside to Stockton, but he can't hit the tough angle layup. Here comes Hersey Hawkins blowing by everybody. East in front, 61-58. Chambers has it knocked away by Jordan. Ed Rush stops play.
That's what happened if you put the ball on the floor near Michael Jordan, you're asking for trouble, because he finds a way of getting over there and getting his hands in there.
Watch,
Here
after he
Jordan.
loses it, he fouls Chambers fouls Jordan trying to get it back with the body.
Tom Chambers right now giving the West the different type of center look. The center who goes out behind the three-point line, as he tried to do that last time, draws Ewing outside and then either shoots the 3, which he's very effective at, or takes him off the dribble.
Even though he hasn't really been hot, Michael now the game's high man with 15. Stockton, who's led the league in assists 3 consecutive years and is the leader this year with Magic second, finds Kevin Johnson, who misses badly, out of bounds to the east. 36 seconds left. Michael 17 for him after the emphatic slam.
And James Worthy just happened to turn at the last minute and saw Michael flying by. Where'd this guy come from?
Stockton for 3. Barkley, another rebound, his 11th of the afternoon. East can hold for the last one. They're on a 9-0 run in the closing stages of the first half. Leading by 7, it's the biggest lead for either team. Barkley trying to screen for Jordan. Spins around, has the shot, puts it down. Here comes Stockton, behind the back flip to Worthy. Gotta hurry. Gets off the shot. Counts it and drops, which it doesn't. And the East reels off the last 11 points of the half to head to the locker room with a 67-58 lead, and Jordan closes with a rush. 19 for him in the first 2 quarters.
Well, first, watch Worthy at the last second. 42 turn. Oh, who's this guy going by? Michael finishing it off. He's so quick. He takes off from the foul line and finishes that dunk off. They cover so much ground, the great athletes. And what he wants to do is face up, get away from Stockton, who has the great hands, and he's become such a terrific mid-range shooter, 17, 18 feet. So confident in that shot.
And we're back with Pat Riley on the Prudential halftime report. Right after this, he better handle this by himself. He needs some time to get a breather.
All right, Michael, you know, you guys just kind of been sparring back and forth, but I have a feeling that it's close to getting serious out there.
Yeah, it's getting into the fourth quarter. You know, the fourth quarter is always a more competitive quarter, but, you know, it's been close, and now it's time to make the big plays.
And anytime you play, somebody wants to win.
Oh, yeah, you want to win. It's fun in the first half, but the second half is all business.
Oh, well, somebody got to take control.
I know. We've been turning the ball over quite a bit. Everybody's trying to get everybody involved. That's probably why you see a lot of turnovers.
All right, man. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Bob.
Okay, Ahmad, does the difference between the winners and losers share mean anything at all? The guys making this kind of money, Mike, $5,000 to the winners, $3,000 to the losers.
Well, they have upped the ante a little bit over the past few seasons. It was $2,500 and $1,500 back a few years, and it's nice to take a little check home for $5,000.
Everyone in this game, with the exception of Alvin Robertson of the Bucks, who makes about $800,000, and Tim Hardaway, the young backcourt man from the Warriors, who makes $500,000. Everyone else makes at least $1 million a year. Some well over $2 or $3 million. $5,000 is really just tip money for them on a weekend like this. Drexler knocked it away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the NBA and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association. Doherty with a no-look pass to Wilkins, and he's stuffed by Worthy, but a foul.
And James Worthy turned around and looked at Lee Jones and said, wait a minute, Lee, my hand was on the ball. That was clean. Nice backdoor taking place by Neek here. Doherty sees it. Worthy up. Looks pretty clean from here.
Clean enough considering what they've let go at other times in this game.
Maybe they felt sorry for Neek because he missed that dunk earlier in the game.
You agree that Dominique has kicked it up a notch in almost every respect this year, that he's better this year than he's ever been?
Yeah, no question. He has gotten his teammates more involved by giving up the basketball when he's double teamed. It's helped the Hawks have this great winning streak at home now, and gotten them back from that devastating 9-game losing streak early in the season.
Inside 2 minutes to play in the quarter as Stockton goes to work. And before the pass, there's a whistle. Dominique Wilkins picks up the foul. It's his first. And as Stockton goes to the stripe, we remind you about next week's schedule on NBC. We've got the Pistons and the Knicks at the Garden on Sunday. And that's followed by a Monday afternoon telecast. Chicago will be at Cleveland. Brad Doherty of the Cavaliers with the rebound as Stockton made 1 of 2.
And the West team will pick up its defensive pressure now, knowing that the East is hurting for a point guard in the backcourt.
And now what you don't like to see in an all-star game has started to happen over the past several minutes. Lots of whistles.
Well, the referees know that the players are going to pick up the intensity, particularly at the defensive end of the floor. There's a little double team trap. Allen Robertson saying, where's everybody coming from? Give me some help back here. He is not a true point guard. You got Ricky Pierce in the backcourt with him right now. So the West is going to get up and try to make some things happen with their defense.
There are some real games to look forward to coming up this week in the NBA. The Lakers have to play at Phoenix, try to extend that 16-game winning streak. Here's Stockton all the way. They let him come through the lane for the easy layup. 90-88. The East now by 2. A week from tonight at the Forum in Los Angeles, it's the Trailblazers at the Lakers. Dominique had to walk on that one, and he did. Too flagrant to let it slide. You know, the Trailblazers opened 19-1. The Lakers were 2-5 at one point. Drexler inside had to change the shot, and now on the follow try, he's fouled. Think of Portland's situation. They're 39-9, and yet because of the 16-game Laker winning streak, Rick Adelman's team leads by only 3 and only 2 on the loss side.
Well, Rick mentioned to us that, look, we understood that the Lakers were going to make a run. They have a terrific team. The slow start he attributed to the fact that new coach, new system, new style, everyone getting adjusted to one another. But with a Magic Johnson on your team, he's just not going to let that team lose on a regular basis. They turn it around, 16 in a row right now. And as you said, chasing the Trailblazers, only 3 behind. And they still match up against each other, I believe, 3 more times this season.
Drexler ties it at 90. McHale trying to screen for Dominique. He finds Doherty for the baseline jumper. And the East goes in front by a deuce. Porter looking for Duckworth, off his hand and out of bounds. If Portland should give up that top spot in the West, if the Lakers or someone else catches them, and they don't have the home court advantage all the way through, they might look back to those 2 losses against Sacramento. The lowly Kings are the only team to have beaten them twice this year.
What a nightmare that was. They missed 20 free throws in the last loss to Sacramento, shot 33% for the game.
Drexler got all of the rim, but none of the net on the attempted stuff off the Stockton feed. And now here's Doherty slamming it home with Wilkins picking up the assist. Porter back all the way. Terry Porter slices it back to 2 at 94-92. They're trying to put on a show. We've had at least 4 missed dunk attempts in the game. Wilkins finds McHale. In and out for him. Worthy on the run. It's a 3-on-2 for the West. Worthy dishes to Stockton. Misses the layup. It's off the hand of Robertson, though, so the West will keep it with just under 3 seconds to play in the quarter.
If you think about it, many of these players have not played since Thursday night. They really haven't had a strong practice at all since they've been here, and they are such finely tuned athletes that a couple of them are puffing pretty hard right now.
Porter tried to tie it and can't. 12 minutes left in regulation. The East 94, the West 92, and we're back after these messages and a word to be inducted into the Shrine in Springfield, Massachusetts. They packed this place. They've sold out every single game in franchise history, just under 24,000 every night. Start the 4th quarter. Stockton to Worthy with the West in control, looking for the game-tying bucket, and it isn't there. McHale has it. Doherty, Robertson, Wilkins, McHale, and Pierce on the floor for Chris Ford as we start the 4th. Robertson misses badly, and the West has it. Drexler, Porter, Worthy, Chambers, and Stockton. Chambers open. He's hit just 2 of 6, and he has 4 points. He scored 21 points in 21 minutes last year in the All-Star game at Miami. And Pierce travels as he lost the handle. And as we told you earlier, Chambers was the MVP of the All-Star game in '87.
2 possessions coming down the floor. 1 rushed, hurried shot by Robertson. 1 turnover by Pierce, missing that other point guard in the backcourt.
And now a charge by Porter.
30. Offensive foul on number 30, Terry Porter, his 2nd personal.
Little crossover, good anticipation by Pierce. Moves his feet, gets in front of the guy, picks up the offensive foul. And this isn't exactly the easiest matchup. Wilkins trying to handle against Drexler.
Clyde reaching in, looking for the steal. And a foul on the West squad. You said before the tip-off that it's only in the fourth quarter that strategy, and even then not all that much, but some strategy kicks in.
Well, you're concerned about the matchups, and there's Michael's dad, Mr. Jordan, who follows him all around. He's a terrific fan of Michael's. His mom and dad, two wonderful people. We've had the opportunity to speak with them many times. But down the stretch, I was saying that you have the opportunity to try to hurt people with certain matchups. Hersey for 3 with a miss, and that's where the coaching is going to come into play.
Here comes Hardaway all the way, misses with the left hand, and Michael has the rebound. I wonder whether he adopted his dad's hairstyle or the other way around. They both definitely have the same approach to the dome. Striking resemblance between the two, isn't there? Even up at 94, 10.5 to play in the game. Chambers guarded by Ewing, trying to shake him, and Patrick commits the foul.
Patrick up real close, not letting Chambers face up and shoot the perimeter shot. Tried to crowd him. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to move his feet quick enough because Chambers can put it down on the floor. Tries to turn the corner. Maybe a little bit of a trip there by Patrick. Or a little push one way or the other. He's going to get him down.
Chambers goes to work again and back out to Hardaway. Hardaway tried to pass it through a crowd, deflected out of bounds. Tim is the game's smallest player and has the smallest wallet. He's listed at 6 feet, probably closer to 5'11", and at this early stage of his career has to try and scrape by on about $500,000 a year, which will jump dramatically next time.
And
here he is.
As Hardaway knocks it out, Magic said recently in an article, Tim Hardaway has the best crossover dribble in the NBA. So quick, right to left, boom, boom. He says, you're dead.
McHale from Michael doesn't hoist the 3. Dominique in traffic, fouled. Mentioned Dave Cowens among those making the Hall of Fame. Our congratulations to the others as well. Coach Bob Knight of Indiana, Larry O'Brien, the one-time head of the Democratic Committee, and then the commissioner of the NBA, Nate Tiny Archibald, Harry Gallatin, and
probably of all time, because people said you couldn't play anymore. Now you're here back in the All-Star game. Now you said that you wouldn't know how you feel during the introductions. Were you choked up?
I was really pumped up. You know, it was an emotional moment for me. This is something I've thought about for 6 long years, and not only to come back, but to play as an All-Star and to be able to start in this All-Star game is something I'll never forget. I'm excited to be here.
Especially when people say, no, you can't play anymore. Not only can you play anymore, you're here.
Well, I think that I'm proving I'm deserving of being here, and I'm just having fun playing with all these great players. And it's a defensive struggle right now. That's the way it seems.
Now, do you have something against the Knicks? Because every time you play them, you just be killing them.
Well, there's nothing against the organization. I enjoyed my years with them, but certainly that last ball game we played was a message to not only to the Knicks, but to the New York fans that I'm an All-Star and I deserve to be here. But there's no hard feelings at all.
A tremendous familiarity with the hoops in Madison Square Garden.
Well, I played here long enough to know where all the sweet spots are.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Bernard.
Okay, thanks.
as we come back to the action, Chambers misses, Drexler rebounds, and Clyde hits it off the glass. The West goes up by 3 at 98-95. Bernard King has made the All-Star team 4 times with 3 different teams, with Golden State, with the Knicks twice, and now with the Bullets. Ewing was fouled before the shot.
At the other end of the floor, Clyde working the offensive boards, and he's bigger and stronger. Then Hersey Hawkins just jumps over the top, moves him out of the way, and scores on the follow.
Tom Chambers just picked up his 3rd. David Robinson's been on the bench for quite a stretch with 5. Wilkins almost lets go of the 3, lets Michael do it, misses the 2-point attempt from the baseline, gets the rebound back, 4 defenders there, and one of them, Drexler, swats it down. Here comes a 4-on-2 with Stockton. The trailer is Chambers for the jam.
He's not running back in transition right now. The West, with this small, quick team on the floor, Chambers as the center, had all 5 players down at the end of that break.
Wilkins, quick slithering baseline move, didn't hit it, but Ewing is there for the follow. Patrick with 11. Worthy. Patrick has the rebound as he got back down quickly, hustling on defense. Jordan comes through, finds Barkley, waits for the traffic to clear and lays it in. 100-99 with 8.5 minutes to go. The West in front by 1, and now Stockton will wait. Hardaway over Michael. Flat-footed rebound to Barkley, who's closing in on 20 rebounds. Chambers guarding Ewing with Duckworth and Robinson out. Patrick trying to abuse him, and he does.
Well, that's where they'll suffer. Chambers may hurt him at the offensive end of the floor, but if they keep going down inside to Patrick, he's too big for Chambers. He just backs him down, overpowers him.
Stockton with the runner that goes in and out, and Barkley clears the boards again. His 18th rebound. Jordan. Dominique. Drexler strips him. Got it cleanly, says Mike Mathis, and then Barkley tackles Drexler to short-circuit the break.
And Charles, getting caught back at the defensive end, knows that there's no way he can move his feet with Drexler. He said, wait a minute, you come right here, stay with me. I'll take that foul. You can have it out on the side.
Fourth foul for Barkley. Second team foul on the East in the quarter. Porter's pass deflected, and Michael winds up poking it over to Wilkins. Michael all the way, lays it in.
And there's Mom, Miss Jordan. She likes it. The crowd liked it.
Hardaway didn't like what happened there as Ewing said, get out of here, little man.
When he sees the opening, he turns it up just another notch and hurries to get to the rim, where he's the best at finishing.
This ball out of bounds into Chambers. That, by the way, was Jordan's first basket of the second half. He had 19 at halftime, 21 now. And number 21, Dominique Wilkins, picks up the foul.
Dominique Wilkins, that's his second, team's third.
If we were to declare an MVP right now, Barkley might have the inside track, huh? With all the rebounding he's done in addition to scoring.
Yeah, Charles has really worked hard on the glass to keep this Eastern team in the position they've been in. But Jordan's getting the points for him.
Chambers with the floater. A soft left-handed shot brings the West within one at 103 to 102. Just under 7 minutes to play. Here's Hardaway with a steal, and Michael fouls him before he can take off.
Nice move by Hardaway. He just timed it, went for the steal.
Did those mascots drive you crazy when you were coaching, when the gorilla would come up to you in Phoenix? Or did you get a kick out of them?
You actually don't even realize that they're out there most of the time. Unless they're in your huddle sitting next to you, then there's a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah. Here are the leading scorers. Michael with only 2 since intermission. Barkley has the 18 rebounds to go with the 17 points. Magic hit a pair of 3-pointers in the first half, leads the West with 16. He was the MVP of the All-Star game a year ago. Up for grabs this afternoon. 6:40 to play. West with the ball and down by 1. Malone was fouled, and he'll have a chance to give his team the lead.
Interesting that they would come out of the timeout and go to what you would call a bread and butter play for Karl Malone. Give him the ball, low left block. That's where he likes to play from. That's what he does with Utah all season. That's what Rick Adelman did for him just then.
Patrick Ewing picked up his 4th. He still holds the 1-point lead coming up after the NBA All-Star game. Final round of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Charlie Jones and the rest of our golf crew standing by. Malone can tie it. Missed them both. Michael has committed 10 of the East's 27 turnovers in addition to his 21 points. Hersey Hawkins hits. He came off the screen and was wide open after receiving the pass. Chambers lost it coming through. Porter picks it back up. Porter from Hardaway. Shot clock down to 5. Chambers traveled.
You mentioned that Michael Jordan had the high number of turnovers, but keep in mind, he's kind of moved over now, and he's handling the ball much more than he normally does during the course of the season, acting as the lead guard or point guard for the Eastern squad.
East by 3 as we move inside 6 minutes. 41st NBA All-Star game.
Biggest fear of a coach during the season, giving Michael Jordan the ball at the end of the game and giving him a screen out high. Tough to play.
His pass for Ewing broken up by Porter, still East ball. Magic returns and asks Clyde Drexler, the man he's replacing, who have I got? Porter also out and Kevin Johnson back in.
And now Magic moves up front as the small forward with KJ and Hardaway still on the floor.
Jordan releases off the inbound and hits. 23 for Michael. Hardaway all the way. Malone kicks it out to KJ. Magic for 3. Chambers. Malone. 5 tries and nothing. Maybe they'll get a 6th try. That one doesn't fail. Hardaway to Malone. Clock ticking down toward 5 minutes. East with the ball and a 3-point lead. Malone on Barkley. Michael trying to post up on Hardaway. Instead, it's Ewing who was fouled as he was double teamed.
At the other end of the floor, Magic lets fly with a 3-point attempt, misses, and then here comes the hard work. Chambers said, let me get it up there quick before Ewing tries to block it. Malone just can't get a handle on it. They keep it alive. Barkley said, I'll start the fast break. And then Hardaway said, no, you won't. I'll take it back. Let me give it to those big guys underneath so they can finish it off. The mailman hammers it through.
Ewing rattles it home. He's averaging 26 points a game and 11 rebounds a game. You know, prior to last year, this is amazing. He was never in the top 10 in the league in rebounding.
Well, 2 big concerns when he was coming out of college, even though he was the #1 pick overall in the draft. How big of a scorer would he be in the NBA? Because he lacked, they said, a lot of post moves, big man moves. The other thing, he's not a big-time rebounder at Georgetown, but I think the style of play had something to do with it. There weren't that many shots at Georgetown because they controlled tempo.
Out of bounds, it goes to the east. David Robinson has come back in. He's playing with 5 fouls for the West.
I mean, he did bring his team to 3 NCAA tournament finals, right, in 4 years?
And he is averaging 11 rebounds a game now for John McLeod's Knicks, and he is among the league leaders in the category. Jordan, Barkley, Bernard King, Jordan shooting and missing. Percy Hawkins and Patrick Ewing. Those are the 5 on the floor for Chris Ford's East team. David Robinson through 2 defenders and fouled as he made his move. The basket counts.
David Robinson has great quickness when he turns and faces up on his opposing centers. That little 10-foot jumper, he knocks that out, so he squares up, faces up, quick move, puts it on the floor, gets in the seam, actually gets through the double team where Michael Jordan was trying to get back there to help out.
5 fouls on Ewing now. For the West, it's Robinson, Malone, Mullen, and the 2 Johnsons, Magic and KJ. Go ahead, says Magic. Says Michael.
And the West actually has the bigger team on the floor right now.
Now he will. Robinson chasing it to the sideline, can't save it. Still East ball, 4:05 to play, East by 2. Look at Larry Brown's quote on David Robinson. Obviously, he has many friends and former classmates at the Naval Academy who are stationed in the Persian Gulf.
Earlier in the season, when we had an opportunity to work a San Antonio game, after about 30, 35 games, he said probably 28 to 30 of these games, David Robinson has been responsible for us getting the wins that we have. Suddenly, since the outbreak of the war, his game has changed a little bit.
It is possible for him to be called up. He has not yet been, and it is also possible that were he called up, his duty would be stateside rather than in the Persian Gulf. And he has told us and told others, I just await my instructions. If it happens that way, I go.
Yeah, he's such a great person and has such a concern for everything that's going on around him. I think people misread him when he came out of college, not realizing that there was a lot more to his world than just basketball, and he was willing to express that.
That's Bruce Hornsby of Bruce Hornsby and the Range. He and Branford Marsalis combined to play the national anthem before the game. After the 22nd timeout, here's Bernard King with that quick turnaround, a specialty of his. He misses, and David Robinson has the rebound.
And they came out of that timeout and went right at that mismatch. At least they felt it was a mismatch with Chris Mullen guarding King.
Magic to the hole. Can't tie it. Another try. Ewing held his ground and no foul was called. Barkley out of there with the ball. Jordan collides with KJ and a blocking foul, no charge.
Good call. Michael never had the chance to come back down. KJ stepped underneath. Michael looking back for the outlet pass after the fake. Ewing stays down, gets his hands up, gets a piece. And Charles throwing the pass. Michael looking back. There's KJ trying to get the charge, but stepped in a little too soon.
Jordan trying to extend a 2-point East lead. (110, 107), 3.5 to play. Robinson has it if he wants it. Misses it by plenty. Another rebound for Barkley. His 22nd rebound. Hersey Hawkins misses. Jordan chases it down. Barkley whips it inside to King. King lays it off to Ewing.
Bernard King is such a great passer, particularly in the interior area when those big people are trying to collapse on him. He finds his teammates.
The East goes up by 5. A foul away from the ball. Kevin Johnson goes sprawling into the basket support. Watch the ball movement by the East the last time down.
Barkley finds him. King knows his teammates open. Now Ewing's got to send it down over the outstretched Robinson.
We showed you how it looked. That was how it sounded. The power jam from Patrick. 2:46 on the clock. East by 5. Frazier of the Knicks guarding Jerry West. Oscar screens for him. Havlicek also there defensively. West knocks it down from the head of the key. You saw Wilt coming over to give him a high five. And the West wins 112 to 110. In this one, we've got 2:46 left. And the West is down by 5, 112-107. Kevin Johnson cuts into it a bit. Only 1 of 2. But the rebound for David Robinson, and it becomes a 3-point trip down the floor for the West. Both Robinson and Ewing are on the floor with 5 fouls apiece. Barkley also has 5 for the East, and he remains in the game. Jordan, left-handed off the drive. He's now 10 of 24 from the floor. He's got 25 points in the game. Make it 26. He's the high man with 26. Magic. Ewing rejects it. Jump ball is called as Johnson reaches in.
As long as Michael Jordan controls the ball, they'll continue to set screens for him, shake him free, get him in that lane area. Then he has the great ability to change hands and finish it. And a little bit of help here. Pierce in trouble. Magic too big. Ewing comes over. Clean block on the ball.
West has it off the jump. Down by 4. Mullen has room. Malone keeps it alive for the West. KJ cuts the lead to 2. He was scoreless in the first half. He has 5 points in the second.
Here comes Charles again. Gives him the screen. Shake him free. Mismatch right now. Malone having to guard Jordan.
Pierce to Ewing. Hits the 10-footer on the baseline. A minute 35 to go. Mullen back. Fouled on the play as he tried to slide across the lane. Ricky Pierce picks up the personal.
Not exactly a guy that you would like to foul, sending Chris Mullen to the free throw line.
Shooting 2 will be Chris Paul.
Only shooting 87% from the free throw line this year.
and he's the 5th best free throw shooter in league history.
I asked him about playing guard full-time in the league. He said offensively, no problem. Defensively, I might have a little problem guarding some of the quicker guys.
West moves within 2. Inside a minute and a half. Barkley again screening from Michael. Malone picks him up on the switch. Tried to go with the fadeaway, but Carl got a little piece of it. Michael saves it into Pierce. Barkley, 3 on the shot clock. Had to try to get that one up there. Kevin Johnson with the save into the hands of Bernard King, but a 24-second violation as they never got a shot up to the rim.
Excellent team defense. They used their hands. They got in there. They scrapped. They knew they were in trouble. The East had 2 real good opportunities with bigger people down low. They just couldn't get a shot up at the basket.
23 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Now Lee Jones and Ed Rush, like Mathis coming over, discussing some sort of shot clock adjustment.
They are saying, I believe, that the ball is going to be given back to the white team.
They're going to assume that when Kevin Johnson went up in the air and saved that ball in bounds, that constituted possession for the West. So possession had changed, and there's no 24-second violation. Watch. So the East keeps their 2-point lead. They get the ball back when we come back. Pierce double pumps and misses. Important rebound, and Mullins got it. A chance for the West to tie with 50 seconds left. Kevin Johnson. David Robinson almost threw it away. Does throw it away. KJ took his eye off it. There were only 5 seconds on the shot clock.
And KJ was on his way to the offensive boards. He thought Robinson was going up with the shot. David gets up, elevates, look across, and there's KJ on his way. Tries to get back, but takes his eye off it, as you mentioned.
The East can't eat up the entire clock.
What a feeling this is, to be standing out there one-on-one, trying to guard Jordan. Give me help!
He goes by Magic. He dumps it inside to Barkley, and a jump ball called. Robinson's going to be at the line to jump it, along with Barkley, with 17 seconds to play in the game.
East better make sure they cover the backcourt right here.
Tip goes to the West, and a timeout is immediately called. There have been 4 previous overtime games in All-Star competition. We might be headed for a screen. He rolls to the bucket, cut off by Jordan. Magic's got it now.
For 3!
KJ for 3, that could win it, and it was touched. It was touched by Malone as it approached the bucket, and that'll disallow everything. The East is going to have the ball with 2.9 seconds.
I'll tell you what, from here, it looked like that thing was dead in the center of the hole.
Looking for the quick foul to stop the clock, but they can't catch Jordan. And that's that. Barkley embraces Jordan. Charles had 17 points and 22 rebounds. Jordan scored 26 points. He was the leading scorer. Let's watch the last play as Kevin Johnson releases a 3-pointer that could have won it for the West.
My goodness. That looked like a game winner to me.
It at least had a chance. Maybe this other angle will tell us more. It might have been there. Impossible to say for sure, but it very well might have been there. Now watch KJ's reaction. Good square up. He had lots of time. Barkley runs at him late. He's trying to use the body English to send it in there. No, no, he says, Carl, how could you do this to me?
That was a 3, Carl. He gives him a little boot right after this, where he says, Carl, what are you doing?
All right, Bob, it is now that time to announce the winner of this year's MVP for the NBA All-Star Game. And to make that presentation, is the NBA Commissioner, Mr. David Stern.
Charles, we're really thrilled that you volunteered to be here. And we think that we now understand, with 17 points and 22 rebounds, why they call you the round mound of rebounds. You were spectacular. Congratulations on being the MVP amongst all of these great stars.
And now for another special presentation, we have the Senior Vice President of the Miller Brewing Company, Mr. Chuck Schmidt.
Charles, today you were one of the greatest athletes in the world playing against the greatest. And in honor of that, the Miller Brewing Company will present a check for $5,000 in your name to the Thurgood Marshall Fund. Congratulations.
Charles, now I imagine that if everything was right, you would like to come down here fully healthy, but you came down and played a whale of a game.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the award, everybody who voted for me. And I thank God, because I'm very lucky to be one of these NBA players, and I can always try to give him the credit. And I am glad that I came down here. Obviously, my foot was giving me some problems because I haven't been playing well lately. But hopefully this will give me some emotion and I can play better the second half. But I just wanted, I hope everybody had a really good time today, and I hope for the and, you know, I hope this situation in the Persian Gulf puts sports in perspective. It's supposed to be entertainment. People have gotten out of hand with it, but hopefully sports will get back in its proper context, what it is, entertainment. And I hope for 2 hours today, the troops over in the Persian Gulf and the fans could forget about everything and just enjoy themselves.
All right, Charles, thanks for those words. Congratulations to you and continued good luck on the rest of the season. All right, back to you, Bob.
Okay, Ahmad, so Charles Barkley can be grateful for that late call from the league office urging him to play. He winds up the MVP with 17 points and 22 rebounds.